Good evening, everybody. We have a very interesting topic before us this evening, and which is turning fintech access into everyday usage. And I know a couple of us will be wondering, how does that work? I would like to tweak it just a little and say turning fintech access, right, into wealth building vehicle. Now, I would like to start by talking about a couple of statistics to us. And the statistics is I'll be comparing 2026 to 2016. That's like a 10 years range. In 2016, across Africa and Nigeria, smartphones were still emerging as mass devices. I think I can remember 2016 a bit clearly. Not everybody had a smartphone. At the time in 2016, I was using a QWERTY Nokia phone, right? So smartphones were still emerging as a mass device. And the internet penetration in Nigeria was roughly around 20 to 25% of the population. Mobile internet was mostly urban, and we couldn't even afford the internet, right, at that time. Now it seems a little more, it's a bit easier to access internet. Then we needed to look for someone that was selling recharge card. You buy the recharge card and then convert it to data. But right now you can buy data off of your device, and you can buy data for as little as 15 naira, something that you want to use just now. Whether it will solve your problem or not, that's how cheap data is right now, right? In 2016, financial inclusion depended heavily on banks and physical agents. Digital finance existed, but it was not everyday behavior. So not everybody used their digital mobile apps, their banking apps, right, to pay their internet bill. Not everybody used their mobile apps to solve basic problems as recharge, like I had said before. But in 2026, we now live in a completely different infrastructure reality. Firstly, Nigeria now has over 142 million internet subscribers as of 2025. And around 40% of Nigerians access the internet via mobile devices, with penetration still rising. And smartphone adoption has driven massive growth in digital services and usage. So, what then is the problem? Fintechs have not exactly solved the problem of wealth building for the average person. Solved the problem of wealth building for the regular people. It is very easily accessible right now to access a savings, to download savings and investments. Any Tom, Dick and Harry can actually go into investing via a mobile app, right? But today, millions of Africans rather use the same fintech apps primarily for transfers, airtime purchases, betting deposits, online shopping, and most recently, loans. Very, very few people use fintech on a daily basis for wealth creation. So the question becomes, if people already have smartphones, internet, and fintech apps, why are wealth outcomes not improving proportionally? Because access. Let me give you a pause. Let me ask, does anybody have an answer to that question? If people already have smartphones, internet, and fintech apps, why do we think that wealth outcomes are not improving proportionally? I'll give a few minutes. I'll take your question, take your answers. If you want to answer orally, you can. If you want to drop your answer in the chat, it's also welcome. Can anybody tell me why? Why is it that despite the increase in access to financial apps, internet, and smartphones, people are not moving up the wealth ladder as fast. Anybody?
So
Is
Damilola
anybody
has her
taking a
hands
step?
raised. So Damilola, you can unmute and give your contribution.
Okay, hi Damilola. Let's hear your answer, please.
Okay, my name is Damilola, not Damilola. That's just
Oh,
by the way.
sorry, Damilola. Thank you.
So, for me, I believe there is the knowledge issue. A lot of people who are interacting with these apps, they interact with them. They come with they come from a point of view of convenience. That this is what I want to use it for. A lot of people don't go deeper. That apart from my basic usage, what else can this app offer me? And then there is also the let's say traditional or cultural practices about money, where you see money, you spend money. The idea of wealth building, maybe holding some back, investing in financial instruments, or holding on to money to build or to compound it's not a culture that we have as a society. That I may be wrong, but that is just my own view of
Exactly.
how people
That you
interact with
have
money.
put it perfectly, Damilola. You have put it very perfectly. So it's a cultural problem, because access is not equals to habit. That you have access and you don't have the habit, you will not have the result. Right? So we then want to move away from having the cultural mindset that when I see money, I only want to spend it. It's the same way we are always seeing money on a daily basis, but every time we see money, we are only thinking about spending, solving my personal problems, solving my I need to pay for my internet, I need to pay school fees, I need to buy the latest hair, I need to buy the latest car. We are just thinking about the things that you want to use money to do, we are not thinking about it from the angle of building wealth. And so we want to talk about how are we now going to use this everyday access we have to fintech, to finance app, right, to build wealth. And I will talk about that in five points, right? I will name them shifts. Now, the first shift that we want to talk about, majorly all of these habits that we are talking about is basically cultural. So we talk about, firstly, shift 1. You have to move from money storage to money directions. Rather than collecting your money, receiving the money, and leaving it to lie idle in the bank like most users do today, I can assure you that more than half of the population in the world today, right, when they receive an inflow of cash, the first thing they want to think about is not how can I multiply that money, is what is the money going to solve for me. And so they receive the money and spend it. But as against behaving like the regular people, we want to then give our money a direction. Rather than leaving the money to sit in the bank, within 10 minutes when the money comes into your account, right, you want to split the income automatically into spending, saving, investment, so that your fintech app is no longer just for you to hold money, but it is now become a decision engine. It is now become a rudder like we have for ships that gives them the direction for their money. Shift number 2 that we want to talk about today, on how you will change your everyday fintech usage to wealth building, is to move away from manual savings to automating your savings. The biggest wealth difference globally is automation. And people are failing not because they don't earn money. There is nobody that doesn't earn a dime, at least on a daily or a monthly basis. But they fail because savings require repeated discipline. So you have to continuously repeat the process of saving. And that's one of the reasons why people are not changing or are not able to build wealth from their current financial usage, because it is it's something that you have to do repeatedly. So what do you want to do as a so that you are different from these people, is you want to move away from procrastination. So that same app with which you hold money before now, convert that app and make it into a daily and weekly micro saving instead of monthly intention. Instead of waiting and saying at the end of the month I will do this, because on your app it's easy to tap and send, tap and do these things. You can also do the tap and send on a daily and weekly basis. Shift number 3 I want to talk about is to move from lump sum thinking to contribution thinking. Now, most Nigerians believe that wealth comes from when I make big money. I had a session yesterday and I said the same thing. Many people are not consciously thinking about building wealth because they are waiting for the day that they will make big money. But that day sadly never comes for most of us, except maybe you are involved in manufacturing or you own a company or something. That day will not come. So, but actually, wealth comes from consistent small contributions over time. So the biggest contributor, right, to building wealth is time. That time factor is what most of us do not understand. You could be saving 1,000 naira every day, right? And in 10 years, that 1,000 naira will not just be the 1,000 you save for 10 years. It will be the 1,000 that you save for 10 years plus the contributing factor of time, which is what we call compounding. I think it was Warren Buffett that said that one of the fourth wonder of the world is compounding. And even those in finance don't exactly understand it completely, because it doesn't just apply to finance, it applies to every area of your life. If you give 10 years of your life to a particular skill, trust me, by year 10, you'll become a beast in that field. It's the same thing that applies in finance. It is not just saving the money. It is not just waiting to save the large sum at once. It is making sure that you are making little everyday contributions to that your pot of wealth. And that is something that you can do because you have fintech. It is not easy for the person that has to go into the bank to do that transaction, but with your mobile apps you can do that on a daily and a weekly basis. Shift number 4 that we'll talk about is moving from consumption to capital. Now, if I take a survey here now, right, we will see that the average phone usage today, you have at least scrolled through social media, you have streamed music or a video, you have played a game, or you have paid for something online. But how many of us have spent even quarter of that same time on our mobile devices, tracking our savings dashboard, tracking our investment, tracking the productivity of the loans that we have taken, tracking how well our businesses are doing? How many of us have done the same thing? But you see that this same thing that I just mentioned, we will spend 30 minutes, 1 hour doom scrolling on social media without getting tired. You want to convert that same everyday ability, that same everyday habit of going to social media, make it a habit that you go to your mobile app every day. Do one habit that would convert for you in the nearest future. If it is to save, you go to your app and you are a monthly earner, you go and look at what is happening there. Is my money moving? Is my money okay? The goals that I have set, which of the goals can I add more money if I see money now? You don't want to wait until month at the end of the month. These are shifts, small behavioral gaps that we access, right? That will change our ability to, that will help us to build wealth rather than continue to be amongst the average. The last shift, remember I said 5 shifts. The last shift I want to talk about is move from credit consumption to credit productivity. Money Point's talking about how they have given out over 1 trillion in loans, right? And half of that loans now, how many of them have used the loans for business productivity reasons? On a daily basis, we have more people requesting for loans than people looking to even save in request on Suba as a company. I know that the economy is not encouraging. I understand how frustrating it is, right? Because of inflation. But the truth is, before you want to take loan, you want to ask yourself, this easy access I have to a loan, Is it going to build my wealth, or is it going to further plunge me into poverty? At the tap of a finger, I went to check a competitor app some time ago, and because I saw people complaining about the same product, and see, it is no joke. I would have mistakenly collected 2 million in loans, and then I fall into that debt because it is now so easy to access. So rather than borrowing these loans, right, for consumption reason, you want to repurpose the borrowing. When you see somebody selling you a loan, you want to think and ask yourself, how? This money that I want to collect, am I collecting it just to eat it? Am I going to be able to, even if it is just to make 1x of that same amount? Those are some of the shifts that behavioral gaps, right? Those are the mindsets that we need to move away from letting our money sit idle in the bank, right? Even if it is what they call it, mutual fund. Put the money there, something that is easy for you to access when you need it. You don't store your money, you don't keep your money sitting idle. Give that money a direction, send it on an errand. Don't doom scroll on the internet. When you find yourself doom scrolling on the internet, take a break. You don't have money to send to your savings, go and read up on investment. Read up on something that would build your personal finance. And now I want to talk about the products that I use, right? I keep telling people, there are so many products these days, right? And all of us seem to be solving the same problem. But what makes us different is our approach to solving this problem. How does Suba Capital operate? You want to ask me, what makes Suba Capital, what makes us different from all the other wealth building apps on the internet? I've told you how you would stop doing your everyday activities and move from consumption on a daily basis with your fintech app to building wealth on a daily basis. Now, Suba Capital, how do we operate? Suba Capital provides you with savings and investment vehicles, and this savings and investment that we provide for you on Suba, right, it is very low entry. You don't have to have so much money. So I talked about the fact that you can just have any amount. Some people will say if you don't have 5,000, you cannot start saving on Suba. But on Suba Capital, I can save 200 naira every day. I can save 500 naira every week. I can save 1,000 naira every month. It is that easy. We are providing that structure for you to change your habits, the habits that you already have, right? You are only now redirecting that habit. With the tap of a finger, you can do your transfers. Your account number is not hard to copy. You copy it, you paste it, and do that same transfer. The money you would have transferred to buy fish and transfer to buy pepper, transfer a portion of it to your Suba Capital app. We also provide you an opportunity to an allocation system. On the slide before this, you will see that we had customized savings options. So you can even customize your own. We already have some that we think that everybody uses, which is rent, school fees, travel. But you can also customize your own savings. So it is easy for you to share your money into different portions without having to worry about differentiating the money later on. And then we also have reminders that helps you to remember, instead of you waiting indefinitely for somebody to remind you, or when your salary comes. Weekly and daily reminders will also help you to make sure that when you are scrolling, you just see that reminder, you do your transfer. You quickly go to your app and do the transfer. Go to the app and look, how much have I saved? How much is left? I already talked about this when I talked about the shifts that were in the behavioral gaps. When I said turning the shifts that we need to do, turning habits into wealth, right? Suba Capital is accessible, right? It is designed to be user friendly. You don't need a manual to be able to use the Suba Capital app. You can download the app today, complete your KYC, and tomorrow you are able to either save or invest. And you also have the ability to track your wealth, because on the app, if you go to your savings, you are able to see how much you have saved, your total money. You are also able to see the same thing on your investment, on the investment side, and you can set goals, like I said. So when you go to any of those preset labels. If you click on let's say you click on travel, for instance, you see a place where you can put how much you want to save for your travel goal, and then you start saving towards it. Every time you open the card, you are able to see your goal and how much you currently have saved. Lastly, as we begin to bring this to a close, right? Africa does not need more fintech apps. We need more people to use their fintechs. The fintechs they already have, right? You need to use it. Between 2016 and 2026, devices increased, internet access expanded, fintechs exploded. The next decade will not be about access. It's going to be about behavioral adoption, the people that are able to adopt and use the same technology that we are talking about, right? To build wealth. Your smartphone is already your bank, your investment office, and your access to capital. The real question is, are you using it like a consumer or like an owner? Thank you. I will take your questions now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adaku. Like, for me, like what you have said within this short time, it's just so like hitting, when they say hitting the nail on the head, is exactly what you've done here. Especially with with the 5 financial shifts that we need to have. Talking about moving from storage to money direction, moving from manual to automated, and the other 3 that you added. It's just really, really mind blowing, and I'm sure that our audience would really learn from this. So we are now going to go to the Q&A section, where please, if you have any question, you can just raise up your hand. If you cannot talk, you can drop it in the comment section, and then we can read it. So for me, I have a question I want to ask, being that you spoke about Super Capital. So my first question is, what is the aha moment using the Super Capital app? What is that aha moment that will make users to come back to the app every day?
You see, the aha moment, I think I mentioned something similar. I said all other of our competitors will say to you that you need a minimum of 5,000 naira. But with Suba, there is the only place where we have a minimum is investment.
Okay.
So you want to, like I said, you want to convert your everyday usage of other things. You can do that on Suba Capital. So you can go to Suba Capital app right now, complete your KYC, go on the savings and set a goal, and see that you can begin to save as little as 200 naira. If you try it now, 200 naira will go. It will enter your savings on Suba right now.
Okay.
So that's one of the ways that we are helping people to change. Rather than waiting until you have the lump sum, right? You can begin to use this for everyday purposes. If somebody dash me 200 naira, I can easily put 200 on Suba Capital savings. I hope I answered your question there.
Yes,
don't mind
yes.
me. Because I use the product. Don't take my word for it. Go and check it out.
Yeah, I guess I like the flexible structure, such that you must like, I think this will even lead to one of Dami Mola's question, where he's asking, how do people with irregular income sources automate their savings? So I think you should take this, Adako. How do people with irregular income sources automate their savings?
Okay, so it is a habit thing. This person that doesn't receive income on a regular basis, he will eat when money comes. Will he not eat when money comes? You will eat.
Yeah.
You will not forget to do that transfer. You will send money to Iya Taye to buy amala and abula, right? That's one way to deal with it. Another way to deal with it is you can automate. You can send you can automate money withdrawal from your account, from your bank. So you can actually go to your bank and tell your bank that anytime money enters my account, send a certain percentage to this account. So it's an automation instruction.
Wow.
It doesn't have to wait until your salary comes. So it's not until not only for people. As long as you earn something and the money comes into hand, you can make that automation.
Okay.
And we are building a system, hopefully before 2026 end, we should be able to push it out, which is where you can put your card. So in case you forget, your money will just go like that without you having to work or stress towards things like that. It will just come from your bank app and enter your Super Capital wallet, your savings or investment, whichever one that you have programmed it to fund.
Yeah, thank you. This, like, your response really, really makes sense. Such that you don't necessarily need to wait till the end of the month. It covers both the regular earners and the irregular earners. Everybody is being included. I think that is the whole definition of financial inclusion, not just building for one sect of people, but including everybody. So whether you earn at the end of the month, if you're a business person that collects salary, that does transactions every day, the mobile app carries everybody along. And then there's something Silas said in the comment section. Let me read it. He said he has his own aha moment. For those of us who doesn't know, Silas Ozoya is the CEO and the founder of Super Capital. He says his own aha moment is the daily and weekly interest/returns that he see on each plan. It is so sweet. So in as much as you are saving daily or you're saving weekly, you are still getting your interest return. You are still seeing it there. So we also have one more question, building on the last question. Okay, what we do, is it the same for employees?
Is it the same for employees and
entrepreneurs, like traders? And yes, so if you can answer what we are building, is it the same for both employees and entrepreneurs? And also, do savings plans for my business? I guess that's what I'm asking. Because can you also do it for his business?
Of course, you can do a savings plan for your business. Of course, you can do a savings plan for your business. So, like I said, we have already preset plans, and then we have options for you to set your plans by yourself. You can name your goals by yourself. So you can save for, if you are planning to buy a consignment, right? You can also save before consignment lands. You can withdraw the money. We are also building a feature that will allow us to withdraw before your tenure expires. So as a business person, it's not just for professionals and young people. As a business people, I found something recently that you see all these mamas in the market that sell pepper and tomatoes. They use the internet. They are watching Facebook videos. So that time that they need to scroll through all those things, they can actually channel that time to saving their money, and it's not hard because they also know how to do transfers. It's just mindset and willpower. That is the difference between people that are making this money and those that are not making the money. You need to have the willpower to stop scrolling social media and do that transfer. Stop scrolling social media and read up on investment. Stop scrolling through social media and plan your money. Set goals for each of your different areas of life. Go and put those goals. Open up your Super Capital app. Like me now, I have multiple goals running at the same time on the app. Just open all of them like this. Rent, school fees. Once the money just come and I have some money I'm not using, go to the app, look for the one that is for rent and put the money there. It's not hard, but it's willpower. It's hard small, but everything is willpower. They'll say HQ. Everything is okpolo. That's the word.
Okay. Thank you for that response. I think because of our time, we'll just take one more question, and I feel this question is very important because we are dealing with money, and then one thing that gives people confidence, or one thing that gives people assurance, is when they know that their money is safe. So I want to ask, what security measures are being implemented in Super Capital to ensure that people's money are actually safe and secure, that this daily savings they are doing, the money is safe for when they want to come back and collect it?
Thank you very much for that question. Now, we have a couple of security measures that we have put in place, which is first and foremost that your money is not lying in anyhow place. we have a partnership with your money is actually sitting in a regulated financial institution, first and foremost. Number two, when it comes to payout, right, money cannot be paid account, but that account that matches the name and the registration document that you gave us on Suba, that's where the money, if for instance my name is Adaku Ekweme on Suba Capital on the mobile app, and I now want to withdraw the money, they now see Chiamaka Ekweme in the withdrawing account, the money will not go. So that protects you from losing your money. I'm not even supposed to have said that now. It's supposed to be for only our customers. Don't loud it, oh. Don't loud it.
Okay.
But that's how we are securing your that's the security measures we have put in place. Because this is after we have seen and analyzed what's happening in the fintech space and seen that these are some of the holes, right, that is causing people to lose their funds.
Money.
Yes, so that's it.
So in the next 30 seconds, if you can just take this last question. Someone is asking about withdrawal in case of emergency. Are there protocols that have been put in place in case of emergency? For example, I'm saving for 6 months, and within 3 months of my saving, something happened and I need the money urgently. So what procedures do Suba Capital have that caters to emergency?
Okay, so originally the way we built this product, initially we really wanted people to be able to hit their financial goals, but it seems like as inflation is hitting people are unable to build their wealth, right? And then when they are saving money, they need the money to save themselves. As much as I would like to hold on to your money and tell you, Yakubu, manage, it will look like you want to die, but you will not die. Customers, you cannot hold them to ransom. So what we have in place currently, right, is we have a mail. You can send us an email with a liquidation request, and we will process your liquidation. Can take between 5 to 30 days. That's how it is now. However, we are working on, like I said in the course of my speech or in the course of my presentation, we are going to also have a feature that allows you to liquidate your savings or investment before your set maturity date. It will come with some penalties and fines. Yes, because the whole idea is so that you are able to, we are your wealth building partner. We are not called that for vibes. It's because we really want to increase the number of wealthy people in the country. But that's how it works now, and that's how we are hoping to change the flow in at most 1 year.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Adaku, for this. As one of our one question says, expository series. So I appreciate everyone that's taken our time to come for today's webinar, and I believe, I'm sure that everybody here has learned one or two things. So with that being said, first of all, thank you very much, Mr. Adaku, again for sharing with us from your wealth of knowledge. Thanks to everyone for coming. Before we go, I just want to urge us, please, whether you're here live with us or you're watching the replay on YouTube, please don't forget to always to follow us across our social media platforms. We put out engaging content. We don't just do webinars, we don't just build products, we also educate our community on the key principles and knowledge they need to know about building wealth, because giving somebody a tool, and as Damil Mola said, knowledge being a very, very big gap, we also educate. So ensure to follow us across our social media platforms, and also subscribe to our YouTube channels where we'll post such replays, and we have other plans in the works to ensure that we have engaging content. Thank you everyone once again, and do have a lovely weekend. Bye from me and the rest of the team at Suba Capital.